everybody try the PP that Austin talked about earlier. Yep. Try PP.
Yep.
This is all we're talking about, PP. You know, and what Austin just said is that he has problems. He has problems. He has problems. He has problems. But he also knows that there's possibilities for those problems. So everybody has a problem. We all have problems. But where we're stopping at is we're not looking at the possibility for the problems. Okay, we're not looking at the possibility for the problems. We're not looking at the opportunities that you get behind these problems. So stop living in your problems. Stop allowing your problems to stop you. Stop allowing your problems to stop you. Look at the possibilities for those problems. PP. So every time something arises, think about PP. Here's a problem. What are my possibilities of it?
Absolutely. And within that problem, there are opportunities to sometimes the possibility, the outcome is not always external. There are things, just like what we talked about, there within an objection in sales, for instance, within what someone says to you, that objection that you have to overcome, there are threads that you can pull out to figure out what's the real issue here that I can get through. In life, it's the same thing. I can't think of a specific example, but if you are going through an issue right now, there are things within that issue that you can use to your advantage to figure out the outcome.
Yeah.
So you just have to sit, find that one thread, start pulling at it, and then other threads will open up once you loosen it up.
That's right.
Get up, get out of bed, and get going.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground, and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free.
All right. I feel good this time.
Feel good?
I feel good this time.
Good. Yes.
So we recorded again, and then I did a mic check that morning 2 weeks ago, and surprise, surprise, I went to go edit the video, no audio. So
no audio.
My mess up again.
Hey, it's okay.
You're messing up, and then you had your grandkids last Tuesday, so we
Had the grandkids last Tuesday, yeah. But we ain't skipping no more, right?
Skipping no more.
No more.
We sat for 5 minutes and did a mic check.
Yes, we did. We did. So
I checked everything out.
Hey, ones and twos is ready to go, man.
Ready to go.
We checked it out. It's good to go. So no excuses. Hey, it's just like going into 2023. There's no excuses. So this is our goal. This is what we're going to get accomplished. Saying?
Okay. We said we were going to do our little map of consciousness every morning. Let's go ahead and kick it off with that.
Check it out, man. Let's see. And I hope everybody is, taking a look at that and applying that to your life, whether you do it on a daily or you do it every now and then. It's just good to look back at and see what type of emotion you're at and see what how it hits you.
I'm sorry. How was your New Year's, Bo?
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, man. Happy New Year to the world. My New Year's was great. It really was, man. Spent it with the family like always, and just brought it in right, man. But I'm the only one that was awake at 12.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't awake at 12.
Yeah, you wasn't?
No.
Yeah, then my daughter woke up, and then my granddaughter, Alicia, woke up just for a split second. But it was good, man. It was peaceful, you know. So what'd you do?
I was just here. Yeah, I was just here. I thought about going to do something, and I was like, man, let me just enjoy my night in.
Yeah. Sometimes you need
night in.
Yeah, sometimes you need just a night in and to relax and gain peace. So, do you have any New Year's resolutions, man?
I am gonna get back on my keto diet. I've been off since my fight. I put on about 12 pounds.
Okay.
Here in the past couple of days, getting back in the gym, I've lost about 5 of it back. So a lot of it's just bloat and water weight.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, get it back on keto. I want to by the end of the year, I want to be around 200 pounds. So
Okay,
12 months, 50 pounds.
Okay.
Or 42 pounds, something like that. And I just want to be a healthy version of me, like physically, mentally. I do pretty good on the mental side.
Yeah.
I'm just not great at multitasking things.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time, I had the belief that if I was working on my mind, like it took all my power.
Yeah.
Really, it was just because I wasn't giving myself enough time to do it, and I wasn't being disciplined.
Got you.
So that's something that I've been working on. I'm not the most naturally disciplined person, which I know discipline is not natural, obviously. Therefore, the definition of discipline. Not everybody is disciplined. So that's something that I've actually been working very hard to accomplish, and we've talked about it a couple times. So getting up, doing this, making sure I stay in the gym all the time.
Good.
That's something that I want to accomplish in 2022. I want to have a few more fights in 2022. Just
23?
Huh?
23?
2023. Wow.
Yeah, 23, man. Hey, you're a year back, bro.
Already back.
Already back. We ain't turning back,
No.
man. 23.
2023 has got to be better than 2022. Tell you what. There were some good things that happened in 2022 for sure. You got to always take the good with the bad.
Yeah, you do.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see what 2023 brings and what I can bring to it.
Yeah, ready to move on. For
So
sure.
yeah, that. What else? No, I just want to keep stimulating my mind and keep learning as much as I can.
Yeah, no doubt. That's good, man. That's good.
Okay. We start off on your map of consciousness.
Yeah, map of consciousness, man. Map of consciousness. You know, I look at it every day, man. And just kind of again apply it, man. Kind of see how I'm feeling. I really use the energetic frequency, you know, to turn it up or turn it down, however it may be. So, you know, me looking back at yesterday, we looking back in the past. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, from yesterday. So,
Or how you're feeling now.
Yeah. Let me see. Yesterday, man, I'm gonna go with pride. You know, after our meeting, I was scoring a little bit, but it wasn't because of my team. It wasn't because of nothing, but because of what I had going on, and you know how I can be a better manager, man, and a better coach. You know, for me, you know, I think of things all the time, also, and I say them to myself. And then when somebody says them to me, it's an affirmation now that, guess what? I was right. So what I was told yesterday, I was already thinking it. I was already saying it to myself. And so yesterday, like I said, I was scoring inside is because I know what I got to do. And going into 2023, I was already planning that. But again, when somebody, you know, that loves you and cares for you and considers you a brother, and we ain't got no blood, but consider you as family and a brother and a guy that he looks up to, especially in the time right now. You know, that it was just great. But again, my view on life was demanding now. You know, it's demanding now. I have a high demand for my skill, for my talent. I got a high demand for my positivity. And I got to go in there with it. I can't put the brakes on at all. I can't put the emergency brake on at all. So yesterday, my pride was down a little bit. No reason, you know, a negative reason. You know, it was a positive reason. I had to check my pride is what I had to do yesterday, Austin, is what I'm saying. And checking my pride, you know, of course, it scarred me a little bit and scorned me, but again, it's demanding now. And so yesterday, you know, after that, I had courage. Affirmation and feasible. So, you know, it gave me courage, and it gave me willingness. It gave me acceptance. It gave me reason. It gave me love. It gave me joy. And going into work today, I have peace, and I know that, you know, it's going to be perfect. So I had a lot of areas yesterday that was on me, but again, the end result was the peace. You know, the peace for myself, the peace for our team, the peace for dealership. So,
you know, I'm not far off from you. I think turn my ringer off before I have 17 messages.
Yeah, me too.
Like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think towards the second half of last month, I kind of operated a little out of fear, just, you know, because it was a little bit of a slower month. And then towards the end, I was operating out of anger a little bit. Not like I was like really mad at the world, but just the little things that were irritating me, like new people asking questions. Again, this is all a direct reflection on me, not them at all. But we kind of talked about it in the meeting, like, why is this new person trying to learn irritating me? Yes, we've answered this question 10,000 times. You probably a million times in their 17 years. So, but that's still our duty, our obligation is to answer these questions and help the enthusiastic new people who want to make a difference in their life. And that's the oath, I guess you should say, we take. And when we're not fulfilling that, that's on us. I mean, that's not their issue. They come to learn. We tell them we're going to teach them how to become successful and how to, but just because I let something else affect me, I can't let that dictate how we teach the new guys and how we let their energy change. Because that's one thing you don't want to corrupt. You don't want to corrupt enthusiasm. You want to coach it and direct it, but you don't want to, just because they're happy. Because I've been that way. I've been the one happy, and other people have been annoyed at me. And I'm like, well, that's sorry, that's your problem.
Yeah.
And now for a short period of time, I'm on the opposite. And I did have to course correct myself, and we had someone bring that up in a meeting that they were doing it, and I said, yeah, I'm completely responsible for that too. So I'm completely accountable for that as well. I am noticing every single time that I take time off from the gym, my attitude is terrible. So even just not even just fighting, like just being active, eating healthy for one. When I go back to eating heavy carbs and heavy sugars, and even just like pasta stuff like that, my joints start to inflame. My everything starts to hurt more. My muscles get more stiff. But as soon as I go back to keto, my joints start to go down. They're not perfect, but they start to go down because I'm punching, kicking stuff. My ankles feel good, knees feel better. And then when I'm not in the gym, I have a pissy attitude.
Yeah.
Everything
how that works.
irritates me a little bit. Isn't that crazy?
It is. It's amazing how that works. It really is. And I'm the same way. I'm the same way, man. And I think that's why I love working out so much. I don't think that it's so much of my body and the way that I look. I'm telling myself that. I'm really telling myself that, but it's not. It's because of my mental state. Because I can go to the gym and I can think of all these things, and I can think of different ways and get out of it. But it doesn't matter if it's negative or not. I'm at peace. It can be all negative, and if I'm at the gym, it's still peace on my mind, because it's like I'm pushing my issues, my problems, or the good, just pushing them out in the weight. So I think working out has a lot to do with your mental. And I think working out, that's something that you got to do, regardless of where you're working out at. So that that's good. So,
and I have a little theory. I mean, I'll start my theory. I'm not taking credit for it. Joe Rogan talks about it a lot, but I have a theory that it's we don't have enough real adversity in modern life for our natural states to feel like, okay, it's okay to rest now, or we went through something, but you overcame it. You don't have that sense of accomplishment, and you don't have that sense of actual danger. So when you're going in there and you have a 300-pound weight on top of you that you have to get off, or you have to get up, you have to go work out when you're running a mile, whenever in your in your state before the modern society, you were running from a damn animal.
Yeah.
Or you were hunting a damn animal. So that's why, like, you get the end of that mile on the treadmill, that could have been what your family's eating for the night, for the week. So, I mean, I don't know if that has something to do with it, your sense of accomplishment. Because nowadays, yeah, we have issues at work. You have issues with your wife. You have issues with kids, whatever that is. But that's not like a primal fight or flight, life or death situation. Going and getting kicked in the head. I mean, if you lose, if I were to get knocked down and lose a fight 1,000 years ago, that could be my life. So there's this instinctual thing that lets you, that lets you take over and then feel that desire to do it again because you have that sense of accomplishment. I'm kind of stumbling over myself here, but
it's all right.
I wonder if that is.
Peace to us.
I wonder if that is part of it. Give me your take on that.
I mean, I really do. I think that's a major part of it. I do, man. Just like you said, just having that feeling of accomplishment, just having that feeling of accomplishment. I think it drives you drives you to another level. I think you can't have a goal without wanting to accomplish it. I don't think that you can do anything really in life without having an accomplishment of something, right? And I think everybody's accomplishment is a little different. It's probably, different levels of that. I think, but for and my math could be wrong, but probably 75% of the people, in our world are doing something so that they can get something accomplished. And I think sometimes things add together, like working out in our mental, working out in our physical. I think all those things are combined together to get you where you need to be, mentally. I think you do it. I think you're driven by different things. And I think while you're being driven, it's just like driving a car going on a journey. You may see a dog cross the road. You may see some cows in the field. You may see another accident. You may see another car passing you. So I think all those things play a role in your mental state of mind.
I'd like to add to that because
Yes,
what
sir.
I wanted to say originally popped back in my head.
Yes.
The sense of or going through all those trials and tribulations, whether it be kickboxing, working out, going through an extremely tough workout, and whatever form or factor it may be. The reason I think that that working out is so great for your mental health is because when you go back to your real world problems,
Yes.
they don't seem as big. They may be huge. You may be going through a lot, but you can at least clear your mind and know that you've already faced adversity for the day, and or that that you've faced adversity all week, and then that you can rest easy knowing that okay, it's not going to get much harder than what I just went through an hour and a half of just busting my ass.
Yes, sir.
So I think that could be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You hit the perfect point. Yes, because you have to be mentally strong and mentally tough to go through some of the things that you're going through. And so working out gets you there because again, like you said, there's different things in life that you go through. And being mentally strong, somewhat can help you or does help you get through the rest of your life or the rest of the journey or the rest of whatever you're trying to accomplish. So that's a great point, man. Great point.
You know what else? Because I've gone through some things as well. It makes you realize this isn't the only thing in the world going on. So when you're not working out and then things keep piling on, you have the mentality of why do these things keep happening to me? Why do bad things keep happening to me? Why me? Why me? And then you don't take as much control. Maybe some people do, but I think for the majority of us, when you only do and handle the things in your life that keep happening negatively, then you have that pessimist mindset that everything's going to be an issue. Everything's going to be an issue. So, when you're able to overcome other obstacles, you see those little wins for yourself, and you can say, okay, well, this isn't the only thing. Yeah, this may be terrible and this may suck, but it's not going to be the only thing that I have to overcome. But I overcame this, so let's figure out a way through this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think working out takes you through the levels of life that you go through. The ups and downs and the bads. And I think, if you're not doing some type of physical exercise, walking, walking your dog, it's all physical exercise. A job where you're walking around all day, your job, that's physical exercise. And I think if you don't have enough of that, then your brain and your mind can't sustain everything you're gonna be hit with, because then that mental energy is gonna go to your physical energy, and now you're drained. Both sides of your body, and when you're both your mind and your body is drained, you have nothing left. And I think that's when people start giving up. And so if you can, I always say one mind and one body. So give yourself 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week to go do something, whether it's walking around your block or out talking to people and just walking up down Main Street, getting some coffee, walking around the mall. Do something so that you are mentally sound and you have a good mental side of state of mind.
What are the 2 P's we teach ourselves?
A lot. Shoot me. Shoot me.
You're gonna kick yourself. Problems and possibilities.
Yeah, PPs, man. PP, problems and possibilities, right? Identify the problem, find the possibilities, and go with it. Yeah, hey, great stuff, man. Great stuff. PP.
We'll get into that a little more later on another episode.
PP. Y'all go PP today. Possibilities and problems. Wish everybody a happy new year out there. Go set some new goals.
All right, Donovan Spider Mitchell went for 71 points and 10 assists.
71 points. 71 points. And Luka went for 60 the other day, right? 60, so this is the highest, right?
60, 71. 20, and 10 Luka went for.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell went crazy.
Hey, there you go. Hey, he went crazy like your TV, bro.
Lines of a three. Knocks it down.
Makes some adjustments. The TV was just not playing sound. Right
there you go.
That went crazy.
Now Mitchell across the lane.
Donovan Mitchell for 71.
Get that shot blocked.
71.
You know what's crazy? LeBron went for 47, 9, and 9 the other day on his 38th birthday. That's like the 7th lowest.
7th lowest.
Like in the past month.
It's crazy.
Mitchell
got like 71. 61, 60,
Mitchell zigzags inside, floats it up.
Luka's went for 50.
Each team has 2
Yeah,
timeouts
multiple
remaining.
times.
Mitchell. He missed it. Mitchell.
One rebound.
Mitchell pulls up. Mitchell to the basket. Wants it. He gets it. Mitchell steps back. Mitchell for 3.
Wet tonight, eh? Wet.
Wow.
And ear to ear grin.
Donovan Mitchell went crazy.
Good stuff.
He's got a decent little squad.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know if they have enough to make a run, but they've got a decent little squad.
They do. They do.
Who all do they have?
I think they got enough to make a run.
They have Darius Garland.
Yeah.
They have Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
That's a backcourt right there.
Yeah, no doubt. I think
And
they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, 71 points, bro. 71. So you think it was a part of his mental state, the way that he prepared and the way that he went into the game, his mindset? We talk about it.
I think as an athlete, you have to be very mentally strong. I'm sure that night he was just feeling himself.
Yeah.
But again, when you're feeling that good, you have to take advantage of the opportunities.
Take advantage of it.
A lot of people don't know how to take advantage of those opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I myself am one that's learning how to take advantage of those opportunities. It doesn't naturally come to me.
Yeah,
I seem like I've always been very good at most things, but I've come in second or third a lot in my life. It just seems like there's a mental roadblock where I find a way not to be to live up to my potential.
Yes,
I guess I should say.
Yes.
I'll get into that a little bit more later, but this is Damar Hamlin we were talking about. I didn't want to open up with it because it was a lot darker, because we don't actually know what happened. But during the Bills and Cincinnati game last night, it just kind of puts perspective on how quick life can be. He's 24 years old. He's younger than me.
That's
prayers to the Hamlin family and prayers to him as well.
Not what any of us want to see, and everybody's around him.
Pretty routine tackle.
Let's hope that he's going to be okay.
He gets up and then falls over. I saw Brian Stutterer on YouTube. He's the doctor on YouTube. He said something. I forgot what the term was. Basically, what he thinks happened is he got hit at the exact time. If you get hit hard enough around the chest or the heart area during a very certain point of the heartbeat, it's like a millisecond timing. If you get hit hard enough, it can stop your heart. Mm-hmm. And that's what he thinks happened.
That's what he thinks happened.
That's why he got up
and just hope that he's going to be
passed out.
Well, looking at the hit now, I wasn't really looking at it. I was looking at it last night, and I was, replaying it last night. But just looking at it today, just being more calm. Actually, there was a blunt force to his chest area. As he's going in for the tackle. So that could be a cause of that. That's what it seems to be now. As he's going in right now, you just mentioned that just now. So watching it today, that's kind of what it seems as if, it's like getting, and I'm just speaking out of turn, but it's like getting the breath knocked out of you. That same area, same hit. I've been hit there many times, and that's what it appeared to be, but it's more than that. And just prayers to that young man, 24 years old, and living out his dream, and prayers to his family and both teams, man, the Bengals too, and You know, tough night last night, and so
The tough realities of life, and
Yeah.
it's especially something as physically demanding as football.
for sure.
I just like, again, still low level fighting, but when you go out, you have to accept or be okay with, not necessarily accept, but you have to be okay with the worst possible outcome.
Hmm.
Like I truly took that to heart on my last fight, and then it didn't go my way, but I was able to. Okay, the worst possible outcome is I get knocked out flat. No, okay, obviously the worst possible outcome is I could die, but the worst possible outcome in general is get knocked out cold in front of everybody. That didn't happen. So everything else. For my very first time fighting, never been in a street fight in my life. That was definitely the most adversity I've had to like physically face in my life, and I fought through it, and we had a hell of a fight.
Yeah, did a good job.
Actually, we need to watch the fight on here.
Yeah, you need to pull it up, man, and show. Yeah, you need to pull it up and show some folks.
I'll log into next Tuesday. I'll pull it.
Okay.
I'll pull it up on Facebook.
Yeah, pull it on
And
up,
we'll,
man.
we'll
We'll dive into it, man. We'll dissect it.
Yeah,
We'll
'cause
dissect it.
I may have another fight here in February 18th. I just got to see if my knee is gonna be okay.
Well,
So
after you watch this fight, after we watch the fight on Tuesday, it's going to give you more motivation, give you more mental awareness. What you got to do, man, and I think that you got to watch that. I mean, I really do. I think you got to watch yourself over and over and over again. That's the reason I record myself a lot, because I want to watch myself and listen to what I say, how I say it, what I'm looking at, and everything. I think that's how you get better. So yeah, let's tune in.
I've
and
watched
watch
that
it, bro.
fight probably 20 times.
Oh, I know you
And
have.
it makes me mad.
Yes.
Makes me
See,
mad.
see, you're already ready. See, he's already ready to go, guys. It's already ready. He's mentally stronger now. But yeah, prayers out to the Hamlin family, and Ryan Clark said something last night on ESPN, and we say all these phrases that we'll die for that, and we'll put our life on the line for that. But everybody, and he also said that now, a lot of times we take it for granted, what we call our teammates. He didn't make the play, or, he's slow or not fast, or he should have caught that ball. Same thing in work life. So think about those things, before you say something rude or mean or ugly or talk about someone. We all put our life on the line every day. As soon as we get in our vehicles and we start to drive to work, we're taking a chance of not returning home. So, think about life more. Think about, the things in life that you're doing. Think about, your mental, just like Austin said, because you have to prepare yourself for times like this. Nobody's prepared for it. I don't think that you can prepare yourself, but you can become stronger about it. So, again, prayers out to the Hamlin family and all the fans too. So, it's tough on fans. I mean, it really is, especially being the unknown. Prayers to all the ESPN commentators too that was airing the game last night. It was on the field, and
You can tell it shook him up.
Yeah, it shook him up bad, man. And all the doctors and the medical assistants that were helping out. So we just hope the best for that young man. And
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and the next one.
I spent 40 plus years of my life waking up every day believing there was something wrong with me. Like, let's not even go to self-love yet. Let's just start with self-acceptance. Acceptance just means accepting yourself exactly as you are and exactly as you aren't. That right there, if you could just do that, would completely change your relationship with yourself. Because we can't stop what other people might say, but you can absolutely alter and reprogram the way you talk to yourself. You must start to tell yourself, there's nothing wrong with me. Yeah, there are things that I could improve, of course, but there's nothing wrong with me. That is acceptance right there. I spent 40 plus years of my life.
Okay, so in a world of self-love and all that jazz that everyone preaches every day, body positivity, which, again, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely can have some detriment for some reasons we talked about earlier, but we can get into it as well. Self-acceptance, accept yourself as you are and as you aren't. Be okay with it. So there's nothing wrong with me, but there are definitely things that I can improve. Because as soon as you start saying there is nothing wrong with me at all, there's nothing I need to do change in my life, then you become completely resistant to any constructive criticism. Then you're saying there's no room for improvement at all in your life. Now, for me, I was 300 pounds and I could barely see, or like I would start to almost pass out physically when I would check my blind spot in traffic. I would almost pass out when I bent over to tie my shoe. There's clearly something wrong with that. Now, not everybody at 300 pounds is going to have the same physical defects that I did, I guess you could say, or the drawbacks. But there are still, when you have an unhealthy lifestyle like that, like I did, I mean, I'd be at work at my desk at 1 o'clock after eating, or noon after eating lunch, and I'd just be sitting there like almost wanting to pass out. That's how bad my physical state was. That's how terrible I was treating my body. Even though I'd get 8 hours of sleep, I was always lethargic, always tired. So was I confident in myself and the life that I'd started building as a person? Absolutely. But was there something that I absolutely wanted to fix in my life? Yes. So I realized that I was not going to live the quality of life I wanted unless I changed that. And people need to get off their ass and quit thinking they are perfect, because none of us are perfect, and then start improving. When you stop improving your life, then that's when you start going downhill.
Man, it's so true. It's so true. And I was that person. I didn't wake up 40 years like that. I'm only 43, but I was that person, and who I was waking up to was somebody that was totally different than who I was. I was waking up to somebody totally different than who I was. I was trying to be somebody that I didn't need to be. And once I accepted who I was, that's when, my mental state of mind started changing. It wasn't too long ago. So I think that's the first thing you got to do. You got to accept who you are, who God made you are. And there are things, like you said, that can get you better. And you start to recognize what you can do to become better. But until you accept yourself, you're always going to be chasing somebody else. You're always going to chase somebody else's dream. You're always going to chase somebody that you are not. You will. And then it becomes a time where you say, you know what? Either I do it now, it's going to be too late. And a lot of times it's too late because we hadn't accepted who we are. We have social media, we have TV, we have all these things in life sharing with us who we could be, or who you're supposed to be, or who are that. No, God made you who you are. You got to find who you are. And you find who you are through trials and tribulations. You find who you are through physical exercise. You find who you are through your mental state. And until you do that, you're always going to, like I said, I was that person, man. I was that person waking up and always looking in the mirror and trying to be the next person. Just like yesterday in our meeting, guess what? I'm able to accept that now. I'm able to accept it. Yeah, that's who I am. That's who I need to be. That's when I'm at my best. So guess what? I have to accept that. But if I didn't accept who I really was, then now I'm like, guess what? I'm mad at the world. I'm mad at my manager. I'm mad at, everything, because I'm in my feelings about it now. No, I'm not. That's who I am. And that's who I have to be the best that I can be for me. First of all, for me, because that's who I am. And then guess what? For the team. And now everybody wins. And so, when you wake up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror and realize who you really are. And also, when you did that, and when you did who you really was, you accepted it, but you said there's some things about me that I can change. And you changed it. And now you are better you now. And I think, for people, you got to find out who you are. You got to find out where you want to go. And you got to put your head down and get there. You can't let nothing get in your way.
You mentioned social media. On both ends, okay, so as a broad spectrum, whether social media is a net positive or net negative, time's still going to tell.
Yeah, time will tell.
However, on both sides of the self-love and the self-pity, it can definitely have a detriment to your life. And I'm about to tell you why. You have people who see these Instagram models or these fitness models that use all this Photoshop, use lighting.
Sure.
All they do is work out and diet. They eat a very unsustainable diet. I mean, you eat very healthy, but you still cheat, right?
Yeah, absolutely, every day.
And what percent body fat are you? Like 10%?
Like 10%.
So you see guys that are like 6%, and you think that's possible year round. So
yeah.
Like for guys, they think that is, what is possible out there. So they get this body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Women, they see Instagram models who just have like fake implants, and they have all this this makeup and they have fake lips and they have all this Botox, and you got the Instagram model look, and they use Photoshop as well to cover up blemishes and everything.
That's right.
And it's completely unsustainable. We already know that. But on the flip side, there's social media where she's not talking about it, but she said, let's not go to self-love yet. This whole self-love and I'm going to say it, body positivity is a detriment, because you have people seeing people that are morbidly obese, that were more obese than I was, and are taught to love themselves and nothing should change. You should definitely love yourself as who you are, but you need to love who you can be more. Sorry about our trash can back there. I got a dumpster next to us. Normally it doesn't come on Tuesdays around this time, but
good.
You have to be able to love who you can become more and the potential that you have. Otherwise, you're just gonna sit there in your own I don't even know what to say, but you're not gonna be truly happy.
Self-pity.
Yeah, you're gonna think that, okay, everyone else says it's okay to be 380 pounds and 5'4", or everyone says it's okay to never try to accomplish anything in my life and just be, work for minimum wage the rest of my life. And again, I'm not throwing shade, but you have to find what makes you happy, like you said, and you have to work towards it instead of just sitting around telling you what everyone else thinks is okay. You have to obviously abide by laws, abide by moral codes, but you have to work towards the things you want, and you have to find for you what's going to make you happy. Now, when I say this, I don't mean that you have to be as ripped as Bo. You don't have to be 10% body fat. You don't have to go out and then learn how to fight. You don't have to, but get healthy, create a healthy habit, a healthy lifestyle, find what makes you happy. So your exercise may be walking 2-3 times a week and then never touching a weight. That may make you happy, clear your mind, and then you can go and accomplish what you want in the tech world, or, business or agriculture, whatever, running a family business, whatever that is that makes you happy and drives you to be successful. That your self-acceptance and then self-love after self-love of who you can be is what's going to truly make you happy. Not loving who you are right now, because you're not a finished product. I promise you, if you're a guy and you're 5'10" like I am, 5'10", 5'11" on a good day, and you weigh 300 pounds, and you're expecting, and you don't have millions of dollars, I guarantee you're not going to get very many women, and not that you need many, but you're not going to have opportunities to meet a woman that you might fall in love with. Trust me, I know. As soon as you lose 60 pounds, options start to open up. Guess what? Unfortunately, or whatever, when I lose another 50 pounds, options are going to open up even more, even though that's not my focus. Just the better shape that you get. I mean, just like as a guy, you're more physically attracted to closer to fit females. Females are more attractive to fit men. It's just the way it is. Now, you can take that mentally as well. The more it takes a little longer to get to know somebody's mental state, but how much more attractive is a woman who has a stable mind versus a crazy woman?
Yeah, for sure.
It's the same thing for guys. As a guy, you have to hold yourself to that same standard, and if it's you're talking to yourself, you have to hold yourself to an even higher standard, because you have to figure yourself out. What makes you happy?
That's
right. You
right.
can't make yourself happy. You can't make anybody else happy.
That's right. He said, if you can't make nobody else happy, how can you make somebody else happy? And Austin said, a word that I really, 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 really caught is healthy. Healthy, 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 right? Healthy, healthy, healthy. You got to have a healthy mind to have a healthy body. You got to have a healthy mind to have a healthy body. If you don't have a healthy body, you can't have a healthy mind. You think about it. If a guy is 300 pounds and he's healthy, he's fit. Okay, great. His mindset is good. But if he's 300 pounds and he's unhealthy, now his mind is unhealthy, because all he can think about is being unhealthy, my medical issues or problems that I'm having. It goes hand in hand, right? It goes hand in hand. So, again, when you wake up in the morning, be healthy. Be healthy. Tell yourself healthy stuff, so now that your body goes with it.
Absolutely.
Stop living in your head. Stop living by how you feel. Stop living by what other people tell you or what the world, well, they say. Well, they say. Who are they? And what makes them qualified to say anything that we ought to believe them? I mean, I'm done with it. They run our lives and we don't even know who they are.
Yes.
Stop living in your head. Stop living.
But it spoke on it. Just spoke on it, man. Who are they? Who are they? Is it the world? Is it, people, your friends? Who are they?
We let they run our life and we don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the people in our direct vicinity in our actual life. We're worried about people on social media that aren't going to click the like button or give a mean comment or people that are going to judge what you're trying to accomplish because it's ambitious.
It's because they're ambitious. Who are they? I was talking to a good friend of ours, Marcus Cobb, man, and he was like, you know what? He was like, Facebook don't like nothing positive. Facebook likes all things negative, right? So who are they? I mean, or is it that same people that's giving these negative vibes that's keeping you negative? Who are they? So start thinking about that. Think about that. Who are they? And they're running your life. Like Austin said, we don't even know who they are. But whoever they are is running your life for you, and whoever they are is keeping you from doing what you need to do, and whoever they are is keeping you from accomplishing what you want to accomplish.
I mean, I think we kind of said it earlier, but social media is not reality.
Yeah, true.
It's just like anything else. It's a tool for what you want. Like what
you want it to be.
The only really time I use social media is when I'm doing all of this.
Yes, yeah.
And that wasn't the case at one point.
Right.
I had an issue. Like I would just sit there and lethargically scroll through everything because I just got in the habit and I got addicted to just swiping through TikTok or scrolling through Facebook.
Yeah, I do it.
Like I wasn't even reading anything on Facebook, but I was scrolling through it just to see if anybody posted anything. Even though if they did, I really didn't care. I was just killing time.
That was it.
But social media is not reality, and we have to get back grounded into reality and live for the people that are impacting our lives and the lives that we're impacting. So your kids, your wife, your family, your friends, sometimes your coworkers, but for yourself, like we just talked about, being happy, that's going to come intrinsically. It's not going to come externally. Though these aren't going to make you happy. They may give you a little endorphin high. I think that's the chemical. It's going to give you a little high when you get 300 likes or 1,000 likes or get more likes than you've ever gotten on your booty pic if you're a chick or your gym pic. Which no guy's getting 1,000 likes on a gym pic. But unless you're just famous. But you or if it's from other guys.
Yeah, not that. We don't want
Isn't that funny? Guys like the fitness guys pictures for the physiques, and then they like the women's Instagram pictures.
Ain't that something?
What are women liking? Stuff on Etsy?
Yeah, stuff on Etsy, stuff like that.
I'm gonna get myself
beauty stuff.
Yeah,
stuff like
beauty
that.
stuff.
Yep.
I think that's just unrealistic expectations guys have. But you have to live for yourself and then find out what's gonna make you happy, and then not sit there and worry about the sub reality of social media.
Yeah,
because it's not gonna ever make you happy. Just relying on something from social media.
No, not at all. Not at all. It will not make you happy. And, that's the reason I keep saying, look in the mirror, take a look in the mirror, and keep looking at that. Get your head up. Get your head up. And I do it. I used to do it. I'm not going to do it anymore because that's just a goal, not to do it. Because you find yourself just scrolling through these things, man, and really you're not even paying attention to them. It's not even really bringing you anything value in your life. And I think right then, you got to tell yourself, what's valuable in my life? How valuable is it in my life? And it's not that valuable. It really isn't because, again, we have perceptions and stuff like that over social media. And now we want to, be all these things and we really can't. And then when we try to be all these things and we can't do it, that takes us to a whole nother different level in life. Now we're down on ourselves and we're beating ourselves up. And, that's where that mental state has to come in at. You got to be mentally strong to shut it off. And shut it down and focus on what you have to be focused on, and that's you, not they.
On our very first episode that we recorded at my old apartment, it didn't ever get released.
Yeah.
My fault. anyways, you asked me about technology and where technology was going. I don't remember exactly how you phrased the question, but you asked me about the current state of technology, where I think it's going. And then you just showed me after Christmas the AR games that you guys got.
Yeah, the virtual reality games.
That is, I've been thinking about it recently, and it's not the technology that worries me. It's not like I don't think technology is going to take over, and then like that's not what I'm worried about. If something like that happens, I'm not going to really be able to tell because I'm not that intelligent. But what I am worried about is what we just talked about, how addicted people get to social media, and how addicted they are to their phones. If you make that their reality, a possible reality for them, people already like have a hard enough time in life. One, because they don't put themselves back out there to do physical activities for their mental health. So they just rely on the mental stimulation from things on social media. So that's going to feed more into their addiction. So I think that's where the danger is. As long as, you can balance it out in a perfect world, it's not an issue. I think it's a great tool to have something like AI or to have something like AR, augmented reality is that what it stands for? So I think if you are able to balance it, it's a great tool. But otherwise, I am worried for the human mental state because people are already doing this for 5 hours
a day.
I mean, I remember at one point, you get the health. I said vehicle health reports. You get the health like the phone reports, right? And it says you spent 8 hours a day on your phone, 5 hours a day on screen time. Well, at one point, I was up to like 9 hours of screen time. Yeah, we're on a lot for work and calling people, but I've cut it down by at least 2 or 3 hours a day. Just in the past 6 months, just because I felt myself getting stuck on the damn thing. So that worries me. When you make that a reality, people can just fade away into it and forget about the rest of the world. Then I think that's going to be a sad reality for a lot of people. It's not having any actual happiness in the real world.
The real world. And it's a major concern. It really is. We're just playing the VR, and it's so real life, man. It's so real life, like you're in it, and it does consume you. Also, and it does consume me, and I'll share with you why. It's because I told myself, I said, okay, I'm gonna play for like 15 minutes, right? Just get on and check it out. It was 1 hour later. It didn't even seem like it, Austin. It was 1 hour later, and I'm like, holy crap, what the heck is going on, right? And so we talk about phones all the time, and so a story from my grandson. He was like, hey, Papa. He was like, we're going to get up for Christmas. We get up all these years, 5, 6 years now. You're still in bed. You're still in bed. And I'm not. I'm really awake. Like when they get up, I'm awake. I'm waiting on them to get up. And I kind of let them go in the living room, open their gifts, and just kind of listen and hear them playing and having that excitement and that joy. And then I go in there. Well, he's told me something the other day. He said, yeah, we get up and we go in there, and then we come in here and get you, and you're on your phone. Right then, that's when it hit me. He said, you're on your phone. I said, no, I'm not on my phone. He was like, yeah, you're always on your phone. And this is my 12-year-old grandson that's always on his phone, always on his VR, always on his tablet. But for some reason, he recognized that I'm always on my phone. So what that told me is the most important things is watching me right now. The most important thing is being monitored right now. And that's me being an example and an image for them, even though their heads are down, even though that they're in their game playing it I don't even think they're paying attention to me. Sometimes I get in my feelings because they ain't playing with me. But they're really watching. And he just told me that you're always on your phone. So if I'm always on my phone, then what else am I doing with my time? That just told me that I'm always on my phone. I'm not spending enough time with my grandson. And so I think, things like that in life, you have to recognize it. And you can't allow that to go over your head. You can't allow that to just be brushed off. And I think a lot of times we just brush it off. Are you on your phone all the time? Okay, well, so what? It's my phone, right? Instead of recognizing, wait, there's something in front of me that needs to pay closer attention to.
That's more important.
So, absolutely, that's way more important. Way more important. So,
is it starting to turn on you?
Yeah, it's starting to turn on me, man. It's wanting to talk to me, man. Want to talk to me. That's all good though.
I think we lose that reality a lot, and we use our phones as an escape.
Yep.
And
you said it.
It's truly sad.
You said it.
And this isn't just us for us to preach at you or
No, not at all.
talk about the things that we understand, because a lot of these things that we understand, we still don't do, and then we have to correct ourselves on, like what he just said. He understands that being on your phone too much can be a detriment, but you still find yourself trying to, and as natural humans, trying to find that comfort, and it's comfortable to sit and scroll through social media because you get that little high. And for me, food is I'm a glutton. I love food. I put on 15 pounds after my fight. I'm back down to like 10 over now, 7 over, something like that. I need to weigh, but just taking that month off with my knee injury, I got out of my routine and I went back and I just started eating like terribly. And I'm paying for it right now.
Yeah.
So I have to course correct. But I know exactly how to lose weight for my body. I know exactly how to burn fat very rapidly. I mean, I was losing a lot of body fat at one point. Like the 3 week or two, I accepted the fight on 2 weeks notice. So the 2 weeks, I lost probably 10 pounds almost. But the month and a half leading up to that, I had lost like a total of 20 pounds.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was
awesome.
on my keto diet and I was working out very hard and I was doing exactly what I needed to do. So I know exactly what I need to do to lose weight, even just the diet. I can lose weight on the diet and not work out.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much, but at the end of the day, I have to do it. You have to still execute. You can have a plan all day, but you have to do it. Mm-hmm. As soon as I would go on a lunch break and I'd drive by Dairy Queen, that flurry or whatever sounds pretty good right now. That cherry, very cherry chip sounds pretty good right now.
Frosty, man.
Oh my gosh.
Queen, I'm telling you.
So I'm a glutton and I love food. So that's my comfort is food. Luckily, I'm not one that drinks. I'm not one that's addicted to drugs. I'm not one, but food is my comfort, and food is a drug. Mm-hmm. Like if you use it to that, you can use it as fuel or a drug.
Yes.
So I mean that is my thing.
Yes. So everybody try the PP that Austin talked about earlier. Yep. Try PP.
Yep.
This is all we're talking about, PP. And what Austin just said is that he has problems. He has problems. But he also knows that there's possibilities for those problems. So everybody has a problem. We all have problems. But where we're stopping at is we're not looking at the possibility for the problems. Okay, we're not looking at the possibility for the problems. We're not looking at the opportunities that you get behind these problems. So stop living in your problems. Stop allowing your problems to stop you. Stop allowing your problems to stop you. Look at the possibilities for those problems. PP. So every time something arises, think about PP. Here's a problem. What are my possibilities of it?
Absolutely. And within that problem, there are opportunities to sometimes the possibility, the outcome is not always external. There are things, just like what we talked about, there within an objection in sales, for instance, within what someone says to you, that objection that you have to overcome, there are threads that you can pull out to figure out what's the real issue here that I can get through. In life, it's the same thing. I can't think of a specific example, but if you are going through an issue right now, there are things within that issue that you can use to your advantage to figure out the outcome.
Yeah.
So you just have to sit, find that one thread, start pulling at it, and then other threads will open up once you loosen it up.
That's right.
You have to learn to select your thoughts the same way that you select your clothes every day. Now, that's a power that you can cultivate. You want to come here and you want to control your life so bad, work on the mind. And that's the only thing you should be trying to control. Because if you can't master your thoughts, you're in trouble forever. You have to learn to select your thoughts the same way that you select your clothes every day. Now, that's a power that you can cultivate. You want to come here and you want to control your life so bad, work on the mind. And that's the only thing you should be trying to control. Because if you can't master your thoughts, you're in trouble forever. You have to learn to select your thoughts the same way that you select your clothes every day. Now, that's a power that you can cultivate. You want to come here and you want to control.
I got a new phrase, man, that I'm using, man. That's my new quote, man. Select your life like you select your clothes. Select your life like you select your clothes. So if you get up today looking dusty and disgusted, that's how your life finna go. So that gave me a whole new mindset. I'm finna go back to bow ties and suits and everything. Yeah, I want to look the best, and so that means, hey, I'm gonna select my life to be the best. So I like that. I'm gonna get that to the salesman, man. I'm gonna get that to the salesman today. That's what I'm gonna tell him. You know, you select your life like you selecting your clothes.
I mean, I'm going to add to it. You may not be able to afford the Lululemon or the $3,000 suit, but guess what? You've got stuff in your closet that you can put an outfit together.
Absolutely.
And then that'll make you feel better about yourself. You can go throughout and be able to start to buy a little bit nicer clothes bit by bit.
Absolutely.
Start to look better.
Man, I love that right there. I love that because I like clothes, man. I enjoy clothes. I got too many clothes. You know, I had a pile of like socks like this big at the crib yesterday that Alicia was telling me. I don't even know how I got all them socks. I don't even wear all the socks, bro. I want some new shoes. And she said, babe, why you want some new shoes? You got shoes in there and boxes on the floor. And you're right, but I want some new shoes. I'm going to buy some still, right? I'm going to buy some. I'm going to go buy some shoes today. And the reason why, because of this video right here. I'm going to select those shoes like I'm selecting my life. So whether it's $3,000, $4,000, how much ever them shoes cost, I'm going to buy them because I want my life to be rich. Not in money, but in love and in friends like you and in health and in mental state. So select your life like you select your clothes, man. That hit me hard right there, bro.
You should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. The clock is ticking. And if you're miserable now and you change nothing, in 5 years, you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older. You should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. The clock is ticking. And if you're miserable now and you change nothing, in 5 years, you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older. You should be afraid of taking...
Ooh-wee.
For me, I talk on this a lot. Both of my knees just popped. I'm getting old. No, you should. I mean, it's scary to take risks. It's not comfortable to take risks. It's not comfortable for me to go spend almost $5,000 on all this equipment. Whenever my mom's asking, why are you spending money on all this? When I have a vision for what I want to set up here, for working 11 hours a day, sometimes 12, and then, at 6 o'clock in the morning, one day a week, starting out. I mean, I want to try to start doing 2, if we can find the time. But
we'll find the time. The time's already here. We just got to take an opportunity.
Good. But it's taking a risk and doing. I've always been, up until recently, up until the last year or so, I would say, I'm worried that people were going to judge if I didn't have success doing this. Like, if this wasn't successful, people are like, oh, he had that little podcast and didn't have anything to talk about and it fizzled out. Well, guess what? It did fizzle out because I didn't stay consistent with it. I didn't stay committed to it. But guess what? I finally decided, no, F that. I want to do this and I want to do it on the way I want to do it. So I committed to what I wanted to do. I let go of some of the things that weren't as important. I cut out about $600 a month from one aspect, about another $800 a month in another aspect.
That's great.
Started freeing up some money.
That's awesome.
And just started living the life that I said was going to make me happy. He says some very, very key phrase in there. You should be more afraid. You should be afraid of taking risks, but you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it makes you miserable. So there are plenty of people who have their family, have their job, and live a great life and, don't need any more. They are completely content, completely happy. That's amazing. I wish I could have that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I'm envious to a degree to that. But if you are miserable, you should be more afraid of being miserable in the same spot 10 years from now, because I guarantee you're going to be even more miserable than you are right now. So you should be more afraid of staying where you are. The clock's ticking.
The clock is so tickety, and so I apply this video to yesterday, and I was miserable. I was miserable for where I was at, for my position. I was miserable, and I talked about it. I was miserable with myself just because that's not who I was. I was a man. I was the best. You know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't there. I let myself go a little bit. And it was because of me scrolling on my phone or me not, focusing on what got me to be the best. And so I was miserable with myself. And so, you know, that conversation arising like that, I'm not going to stay there. I'm not. It's going to drive me to get out of there, right? And not so miserable where, you know, I'm just down in what, but just miserable in the level that I was at. Because, you know, I want to go in there and I want to be the best at it, man. And you know, there's things in that I want to do and how I should conduct it. How I should conduct it, I was miserable how I was conducting it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that. I was miserable how I was conducting it. And so, you know, I was miserable how I was conducting it, but I was also afraid of kind of, you know, where I thought we was going. But guess what? Now I can detour because I found out what was making me miserable, and it wasn't because I was being the tip-top manager and the coach that I needed to be. And now that I got it back, now guess what? I can take those roles to where now doing what I'm doing now and being with that urgency that I need to have going into, you know, the deal 5 years from now, we're gonna be just fine. 5 years from now, we're gonna be all right, Austin. 5 years from now, we gonna be perfect. Trust me, we're gonna be perfect. And you know, I put that goal on me. You know, and it was so funny that he said 5 years. You know, I gave myself 5 years to be the all-time best, the all-time best out of every dealership. Every dealership, the all-time best closer. That's what I'm gonna be. So, you know, when you find yourself, you know, miserable about yourself, about your life, about where you are, and where I was at, you know, on the level that I was at. I wasn't miserable about anything else but where I was at, where I was at yesterday and going into it, because I had already talked to myself about it. I had already looked myself in the mirror, and I got that confirmation yesterday. Got that confirmation.
Check your attitude, check your reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Start to put a plan together, figure out where you want to go in life.
That's
work
right.
Towards that, because nothing else is going to make you happy.
Nothing else is going to make you happy. It's about you. It's about you and where you want to be at. Okay. So again, you know, and Austin said it earlier, you know, we're not teaching, you know, we're not preaching. We're just sharing with you in life what happens. We're sharing with you our stories of what happened. I'm sharing with you things that happen to me every single day. And I'm not afraid to share that with you. It's because I know where I'm going and I'm going to get there. And, you know, by me commenting and by us doing this podcast right here, it just makes it a little bit easier just to share with you. Guess what? We all go through stuff. We all go through ups and downs. But just like these videos, these positive videos versus scrolling through Facebook, looking at the negative, like social media likes, look at the positive stuff on there, right? This is negative and positive. It's negative is because he found out that he was who he was, but it also became positive because he knew who he was. He knew who he wanted to be. Guess what? He's not miserable anymore 5 years down the road. And I see it every day. We see it every day, Austin. We look at people right now, and I said it to the salesman too. Bet me right now you'll be in the same place you are next year.
You do.
And they didn't. They don't bet me. They don't bet me. It's because they're miserable, and they hadn't accepted who they are. And that's people in general, and I was the same way. But yesterday I accepted who I was, and I ain't miserable no more. I'm really not. I'm really not. So, you know, big ups to you for doing the podcast. Appreciate you. You know, Happy New Year to you, and I appreciate it, man.
You had a piece in that.
So
you had a big piece in making me set it up, because I kept talking about how I wanted to do it, and you told somebody, I'm waiting on a certain somebody over here, my buddy, to start a podcast, keeps talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you know what? Let me shut up and let me get it going.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, me saying that to Austin, it wasn't about me and doing this podcast. It really wasn't. It was about him, because he was telling me his goals and his dreams, and I was pushing him to reach his goals and his dreams. That's what it was about. It wasn't about me wanting to talk on a podcast. I can get on social media. Y'all know that. Talk all day, make videos, get up, get out of bed, and get more. All that. So it was about this young man and me helping him accomplish his goals. But what I figured out, I'm also accomplishing my goals along the way. So I appreciate you. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
I've got to go open up for Daniel. So.
Okay, yeah, you got to get to work, man.
I got to get to work.
Hey, everybody have a great day. Happy New Year. And again, I'm praying for the Hamlin family. Get up, get out of bed, and get going.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something